Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to the 10 Golden Rules Internet Marketing for Law Firms podcast. I'm your host, Jay Berkowitz. I'm the founder of 10 Golden Rules. We're an internet marketing agency for law firms. And we do this weekly podcast and our monthly live streaming webinar events to share the latest strategies and tactics to help you grow your law firm. We feature the best new practices that we uncover while we're working on law firm digital marketing. We share the best client case studies and the industry's best experts. Today, I'm super excited to bring you one of the very best in the legal marketing and legal business industry. Justin Lovely is an attorney based in South Carolina, and he spoke at our conference called TGR Live, Growth Strategies for Law Firms, which we held this past April in Boca Raton, Florida. Everyone absolutely loved Justin's presentation because he shared over a dozen practical applications for artificial intelligence, the best tools and products and cheats you've never heard of, that he's using every single day to optimize his law firm and save time and money for his team. So if you're listening to this on the podcast and you love this stuff, and I know you will, and you'd like to see the presentation with the slides and some other rock stars like Bill Biggs and Jason Melton and Adam Rawson and Phil Snyder, all these superstars who presented at TGR Live, just go to 10goldenrules.com/TGR Live. That's our website, 10goldenrules.com. It's TEN goldenrules.com/TGR Live, and register there to get information about TGR Live 2025, our upcoming show next year. We're confirming dates for March 10th and 11th, I believe. So if you want to get information about TGR Live 2025 and see all these great presentations, just go to 10goldenrules.com/TGR Live. So without further ado, here's the incredible Justin Lovely, the audio recording from TGR Live.
All right, are we ready to learn about some AI and the way that I'm using it? I hope so. Who's heard me speak before? Anybody? Fresh room? All right, it's going to be great then. Y'all are going to be mind blown because I took a lot of stuff out and I was worried about leaving some stuff in because I've given this presentation several times at different events. But one more question. Who's from South Carolina? Anybody? Like you practice in South Carolina? What, you practice in South Carolina? Okay, you're good. I was going to ask y'all to leave if you're from South Carolina. That's always my joke because I don't want to tell everybody. But that's fine. I tell people from South Carolina too because they're not going to do it. They're not going to execute like we do. So, but we've been using AI in our office for the last 2 years, and it's really changed really everything that we've done. We've been able to scale back the marketing team while getting extra content out, and I'm going to show you some of the strategies that we use. We've got some marketing strategies, we've got some intake strategies, a lot of cool stuff that we do with operations too. Let me figure out this clicker. So guys, I think Jay will give you the slides, but if you want it from me, Justin at justiceslovely.com. Also have some things in here. We can sign up and do some webinars. I talked to Jay. We'll go live inside some of these software tools that I use. And I've got a private Slack group that we're starting. If y'all want to get involved with that, just shoot me an email and we'll go from there. Another thing that I'm testing before we get started, I've got this data project that I'm trying to work on. If anybody wants to be a beta tester, I've got these scrapers that I've made that when they work, they tell you who's searching for car wreck lawyers within 24 hours. So I need people who are really spending money to kind of prove this out. So if you're spending money on Facebook or social, reach out to me. I'm not going to charge you for it. I just need people to do it because I'm trying to prove the concept. Justin at justiceslovely. All right. So have y'all seen that going around, right? That's wild stuff right now. And 6 months to a year from now, we're not going to know what's real and what's not real. I really believe in that. I know people are saying that's a conspiracy. No, it's real because it's right now. You can do that right now on Midjourney. It's called Viggle. So if y'all want to play around with it, it's on Discord in Midjourney, not Midjourney, Discord. But it's some wild stuff right now, and that's going to be where the future's going, just with all this stuff. And Microsoft has their facial recognition with Vasa that they're coming out with, and they're not even releasing it because they're worried about the ethics of the whole thing. So it's real scary, but it's also an opportunity for law firms. It's an opportunity for any business that you guys have on the side. It's an opportunity for the world. GPT, people say, what does that mean? Well, technically it means generative pre-trained transformers, but I like to tell everybody it really means general purpose technology. And when you look back on life, what were these general purpose technologies? Well, a million years ago we invented fire, right? And then along came the wheel, about 10,000 years ago? And then we've got the combustion engine and steam engine, electricity. Then we had the telephone. Then we had the computer, the internet, and now we're sitting here with AI. And if you think about all these different general purpose technologies throughout the course of humanity and all the different micro technologies that spurred off of these things, these really changed the world. If you look back, that was a million years ago, 10,000, maybe 300, 200, 100. Internet was 50 or 60, or computers 50 or 60. Internet was only 25, 30 years ago, and then AI is just now coming out. So everything's moving quicker, it's moving faster, and it's going to change everything that we do and how we live. One thing I want you guys to understand, I know you guys have probably seen this iteration of change management when you say you want to do or implement anything new in your law firm or in your life, okay, you're going to have pushback. And we had a lot of pushback from staff. We've lost a lot of staff. And we've also know what kind of staff we're looking for in the future. And a lot of this happened, coming out of COVID when everybody's having this, I know everybody in this room has had a pain in the ass trying to hire people. Now, if you're not ready to accept change, you're ready to pivot on the dime, when we can have a business opportunity to make things easier, quicker, faster, we're not even going to talk to you anymore. So part of that is having your staff and teaching your staff this change curve that is true 100%. Anybody that's changed or implemented anything new in your business, my staff was really hating me because we switched from FileVine to Smart Advocate. And on top of that, I'm doing all this AI stuff on top of that. So they were really mad at me. But we lost some people, but we also gained some people. But this is what happens. I mean, shock, denial, anger, blame, fear and bargaining, and this resistance, which is the worst thing. Let me get this is a worst phase right here, because then they're losing faith in leadership, right? And so every time that I try to bring something new, we have to really realize that this is what's going to happen. But when you get to the finish line and you get it fully integrated, I mean, you start kicking ass, right? And they all say, hey, maybe that can work. And then they're all like, you get buy-in from your team, let's do this. Okay, so be ready for that as you start implementing these different AI tools. And again, develop a plan. Get with your ops people. You got to develop a plan. Any little tool, because your employees feel threatened by these things, and you're going to lose some people. I lost some people, and that's fine because we're able to save money and again streamline our operations, streamline marketing intake. But your best employees that you definitely want to keep are the people who have been with you for a long time. Bring them into your decision-making process, because there's so many things to look at, and you really need their input as well. And start as early as possible, right? So when we decided to really go all in on AI, and then the subsequent change to Smart Advocate, obviously we interviewed all the case management softwares, but we made sure all our best employees were in there, because I know, hey, they're the ones that are going to be using it. They're the ones going to be making my life easier, my attorneys' lives easier. We got to make sure that they get that buy-in. So hopefully we're not riding that roller coaster of the change curve. Also, if you've not started it on this process with AI, I'm going to give you some tools, but God, there are thousands of tools. And people will try to lump everything in and say, hey, everything's Chat GPT, OpenAI. There's so much more to this, okay? But I always say this, it's like going down a rabbit hole. There's so much to it. Be ready for that rabbit hole. Get buy-in from your staff, and hopefully you can move on. So the platforms, we've got Chat GPT. I think everybody kind of understands that. And you can do the quick images with DALL-E through Chat GPT. Another cool thing is Whisper, and I'm going to be talking about Whisper. I'm speaking in New Orleans in about a month. I'll be talking about Whisper, but Whisper is basically once you create your own chatbot, you can create your own little firm-wide Alexa. And they're actually selling little devices that you can train, and then my idea is to basically talk to it, voice search. If they have any questions, it'll all be like a personalized Alexa device. So that's some real cool stuff. Claude is more humanized. So when you're doing like ebooks, you're doing some any kind of guides that you really need like a human voice, Claude seems to be better for that. Perplexity, if you need cited search. Meta AI just came out. I think all this is an arms race, by the way. One will come out that's better than the other. This will come out that's better than the other. And they all keep updating. And who knows how this is all going to flush out. But Meta, I think right now, is really going to kick ass because they have, if you think about it, everybody's been living on Facebook for, 20 years, right? And they've got 15 trillion data points to train their models on. And just like Jay said earlier, they've got a whole new search function that kind of spooked Google. But then Google's got Google Gemini that's just recently been updated. So that's, this clicker's doing something weird. Google Gemini is awesome too. So we use in our office, we'll use all of these for different things. And sometimes I'll get outputs from one and put it back in the other and then figure out what kind of, what's best for the firm depending on what the use case is. But you really need to play with all of them. So keep these two questions in mind. Before you hire for a new role, can AI or an AI tool solve this problem for you? I'm in a lot of masterminds, and a lot of times guys will say, hey, I have to hire another person, or I got to do this, I got to do that. And when you take a step back, do you really? Because there could be an AI tool, and I'm going to show you some that will solve some problems, and you'll get rid of that overhead. That labor's gone. Another thing, before you make any change, whether it's software or a way you do things or intake or some of the things I taught, can AI make this better, faster, easier? So I'm going to start with some marketing, okay? Because I think this is a marketing conference, and TGR wants to help you do some of this stuff, and this will be some good feedback. I'm going to pick on Morgan & Morgan too, because that's everybody's nemesis, right? There's nobody here from Morgan & Morgan, right? All right, good. You guys are going to plot twist. All right. But you guys will like this stuff. So let's just start with a problem. With social media, of course, you're going to have some organic stuff. Melton's going to talk to us later about some organic stuff that he's doing. He's kicking ass at it. We all have to do the organic side. We also got to spend some money. All right, you got to pay to play on these platforms like Facebook and Instagram. And so always a struggle for everyone is what post, what video, what's going to perform. Okay. And the expensive way is the trial and error. And I think we all do that. Shit, we think this is a great design. We post it, and then we get no views. Nobody clicks on it, or it's just a dud, right? And then when you do find one that works, what kind of landing page elements, once you get them to click to it, are going to convert them for them to make the call, make the form fill. And then, of course, all this is just a bunch of time. It's a time suck on your staff. And then the worry, right? Because we all usually put some real money when we're spending money on social ads. So this cool tool, it's an AI tool called Swipe Builder. Anybody ever heard of Swipe Builder? Okay, Swipe Builder is awesome, man. So Swipe Builder is basically a tool, and it's got an AI component and this scraper. It will scrape all the ad libraries for Google, TikTok, Facebook ads library. And basically what you can do, and I'll show you the way I use it, is you can search for any of your competitors, and I recommend you put, for your local, we're talking local search and big search, but local search, whoever you think your top competitors are on social, put them in this software, okay? And what you want to look for is, do they have any ads that have been running for considerable time? So this is a Morgan & Morgan ad. I'm trying to let you guys see over here. This is a Morgan & Morgan ad that launched May of 23. So do you think that this is producing, if they're still running this ad for a year? It's probably some creative that works, right? Everybody with me? Everybody follow that? Okay, so with Swipe Builder, you just click this little swipe file, okay? You can swipe any ad that you like. And then what you'll do, it'll dump back into Swipe Builder, and then you can click this little button down here called Inspect, basically what you swipe from the ads libraries, okay? So this is a pedestrian ad that they're running. They've been running for over a year, and this is two truck cases. So you can see the elements here, big text, free case review. You can see their copy that they're using for it to convert. And then essentially what it can show you, you'll see up here landing page screenshots. Oh my God, this clicker, killing me. Okay.
Justin?
Yeah.
You said if we point it up in the air, it won't, it's the people that's blocking it.
Okay, point it up. Okay, I'll try. Okay, those are static ads, but it can also pull these video ads. This is where the AI really comes into play, okay? So the same deal. Find an ad that's been working for them, because they're not going to keep running an ad, especially Morgan & Morgan, all the money they spend. They're not going to keep cranking money into social unless they're following this and know that it's converting. So you're going to see all these different elements up here on a video ad that's in your swipe file now through Swipe Builder. And it's going to give you a link to their landing page on a mobile and their landing page on a desktop. It's going to transcribe the video. And you can tell on this one, this is a testimonial style video, okay? And then also you're going to see in the ad itself, can y'all see over here? You good? In the ad itself, you're seeing emojis, how the copy is. And so what does this tell you guys, right? This tells you how your agency, or you if you're doing it in-house, this is the kind of ad that you need that's going to convert. If you want something that's going to convert, you need some kind of testimonial, you need these elements, and you need to figure out what is this client saying that's really pushing and driving the train. There's one more here. Okay. So this is their landing page for this, okay? So the next level is, you want to put the ads out, create the ads, push them out. But then if they click on the ad, they've got to call you or fill that form out, right? So a lot of times people will send them back to your main web page, not to a landing page. If you're running any paid media, Google, Facebook, you need to be using landing pages. Well, with Swipe Builder, it will copy the exact ad and what that specific landing page is going. And the same thing, you can say, what are the elements of design that's making this be a kick-ass ad for them? Well, very simple. No navigation up here. Logo, their 1-800 number. Here's their social proof down here. They're talking about no fee unless we win. This is all the pain points that clients worry about. They're just boom hitting it to you. Free case evaluation, and then there it is. There's your form, and there's their opt-in. And then down here is more social proof right below the fold. And you can see what it looks like on mobile. So Swipe Builder is awesome for showing you all this. Okay, so now, if I want to copy this ad, their AI will take that transcript, and they have some certain prompts that they build on top of, I think they're building on top of Chat GPT, but they have prompts that will kick out and take that transcript and say, I want to make an ad just like this. We'll say, okay, I'll give you a script, and here it is. My name is, they used her same name. And I was driving on a highway. As I came to a stop, a car impacted me. Working with a lovely law firm was incredibly straightforward. It was so easy. Basically, they're hitting all the pain points that a client would worry about. And so what you could do, well, hopefully this is naturally being spoken by your clients in a testimonial, but you could use Swipe File or literally put that in a teleprompter if you could have a client read that, right? This is what they're saying is converting and making this ad so kick-ass for Morgan & Morgan. So this is awesome. And it's all on Swipe Builder. I think Swipe Builder is like, it's cheap, man. It's not even, I think it's like $100 a month, $200 a month. Does that make sense? Everybody's like, what? Okay, cool. So that's the first thing. It's good stuff. So you already got the value here. Y'all can leave right now and you're good. Right? All right, so that's paid media, right? And before I get into this, you can do that for TikTok. You can do that for Facebook ads. You can do it for Google if they're running Google video ads. If there's one more, if they're running any video on Wistia too, it will pull off of that. So Swipe Builder is awesome. It's worth its weight in gold. Email me because I'm going to send you all a referral link. Maybe I get a free month or some shit out of it. All right, organic video. So this can be expensive. People think it's expensive until you figure out the system how to do it. It's really not expensive. And Jason Milton's going to tell you how to be a pro at it, but he's taught me a lot of things. But as Jay said, YouTube's the #2 search engine. People can't give this up, and not a lot of law firms do this. Okay, they forget about YouTube. You know, we all have limited marketing budgets, time, of course. All of our clients don't speak English, and you'll see why that's important later. And then YouTube Shorts versus Reels versus TikTok versus Twitter. You're like, damn, which one do I do, right? Well, you can do them all, and it's easy, and you can do it cheap, real cheap. So here's my whole stack that I'd use for my organic video marketing, okay? And all these tools, I think every one of these tools for a year would cost you maybe $1,500. So less than the price of a case, right? And then you're ready to rock and roll. And I have one virtual assistant in the Philippines that helps me schedule everything. And I have one awesome video editor through Regents, which is Jason Melton's company. If y'all need great offshore people, get them from Mexico. They're awesome. They're graduate from the Monterey Tech School. Like no training, they get going, start kicking ass. But I have them two, and then one marketing girl, and then my director of ops managing them. So I've been able to dwindle down our marketing team to basically 4 people, okay? And it's, and we're cranking, if anybody follows me on social, we're just cranking this stuff out. It's all on autopilot. It's nothing. The hardest part for me is just sitting down and shooting new content. If anybody wants to be on my podcast, email me. We'll knock it out over Zoom, and then I'll chop it up for you. I'll give you these clips. But here's the tech stack. I use HeyGen, and that's going to be some cool AI stuff I'll show you. I don't know if anybody's using that yet, but it's awesome. Opus is what we're using to make all our clips, and that automatically can get scheduled through all the platforms. We're using VID IQ for back-end on YouTube, and I'll go into what that is involved in that. And then StreamYard is basically our streaming client that we'll use to make long-form content. And that's it. That's all the tools you need. You need nothing else. And then you need a VA to run this stuff for you, and then you just sit down, film, and go. I want to show you. Anybody use Opus? Man, you got, okay, cool, I got one. So you know how awesome it is. I mean, it's easy, it's awesome, it's the sickest tool out there. But Opus, all you got to do is you have to have long-form content. You have to have something for Opus to clip. So remember that too, guys. You got to have something for Opus to feed the AI. But you know, here's how we start. We put it up on YouTube, long form. And this was I just took this link from, Jay did an interview with me last year. And I just put this in here. And you'll just put your link to wherever it's coming from. And then you'll pick a template. And you can create these templates. And it uses AI to put little emojis in there. It does B-roll, depending on what style of captions you want. And then you go in here and you just simply choose your clip length. And it will do super long form, keep it long. What I like to do is just keep it under 30 and then 30 to 60. And then you're sitting here waiting, and it's going to rip an hour and a half long, took it, 16 minutes to rip an hour and a half long form piece of content into short form pieces. Reels, TikToks, YouTube Shorts. And then what it's going to do is it's going to give you, this is a different link, but it's going to give you what it thinks is great AI copy that people are going to look at, right? You can edit this within the software. And it will say, hey, this cut is a good hook. It'll grade it, right? And sometimes you'll get stuff back and they'll say, 60 out of 100. They'll still cut it, but just don't use it, right? But out of a long form piece of content, you'll get 20 clips. And then you can simply go in here inside this little scheduling tool right here and just fire all this shit out to YouTube Shorts, TikTok. I mean, there's nothing to it. We have a VA that does this, knocks it out, has every morning my stuff's dropping on LinkedIn, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Instagram. It's all automatic. It's on autopilot. So there's no excuse anymore. I think Opus costs $500 for the whole year. And it's going to give you so much time you'll never use all the time, the credits. All right, HeyGen. Some people will say, okay, that's great, Justin. I'm afraid of the camera, okay? And I understand, or I don't have the time. I don't have time to sit down and do all this. Well, I mean, with this new AI stuff with HeyGen, there's no excuse anymore. So HeyGen will allow you, anybody using HeyGen? Cool, yeah, HeyGen's awesome, man, right? So they got all these templates, right? So if you don't even want to do it, you can have the AI create you a script, and it will have all these damn templates if you don't want to do it, right? But the coolest thing about it, it's got all these speakers too, so if you don't want to speak and you don't want to do a template, you can have their AI people, avatars, do it. But the coolest thing is this instant avatar, which literally you just take a piece of video that you've already shot and upload it into the instant avatar feature, and it will give you yourself, your AI clone, literally I think it takes 4 minutes. And then this clone, look at this quality. I mean, it's crazy. Let me push play here.
Thank you for your October referrals. Your trust in us has allowed us to expand and serve even more people. We've been able to invest in new technologies, hire talented team members, and improve our services, all of which would not have been possible without your support. Be sure to follow our social media page. Thank you for your October referrals.
Let me go to the next one here.
10 Golden Rules was among the first internet marketing agencies. Since 2003, when Google was in beta and Mark Zuckerberg was in high school, our team has helped hundreds of law firms and businesses develop and leverage their marketing and business strategies into increased revenue. We are digital experts with more than 20 years of experience helping attorneys get real results. We utilize proprietary technology to measure our success and literally wrote the book on digital marketing within the legal field. We have the capabilities to evaluate how your law firm can grow from both a marketing and business perspective. Lead generation, SEO, and lawyer advertising are just as important as your internal operating procedures for client intake, rainmaking strategies, and the technology you depend on for case management. At 10 Golden Rules, we do it all. Whatever you need to facilitate growth is our focus and main priority. I made this avatar in this video in about 10 minutes.
That's crazy, isn't it? You're welcome, I did that for you. That's straight from his website, just copy and paste.
Traumatic brain injuries are a type of injury that occurs when the brain is damaged by a blow or jolt to the head. This can be caused by a variety of things, including car accidents. Traumatic brain injuries are a type of injury that occurs when the brain...
And then this is another cool one right here is, we gotta go, yeah, here we go.
Las lesiones cerebrales traumáticas ocurren cuando el cerebro sufre un golpe en la cabeza, causado por varias cosas, accidentes de coche, caídas, deportes, lesiones y agresiones. Las lesiones cerebrales pueden ser leves o graves, con síntomas desde confusión temporal hasta discapacidad. Las lesiones cerebrales traumáticas...
We can start that. So, we can keep this up here, but before I get to that, I mean, how easy is that? It's easy, and my voice is a little different, but I like that. That way I know, because the future, everybody's cloning everybody, I know that I made that, and it's not somebody just trying to hack myself. Although you can literally, there's nefarious actors out there who can do this stuff. So, but we use that to, you know, if I can't be in front of a teleprompter, or I can't be in front of a spot, and we always thank our referrals every month, so I'll fire that in there. Go to my YouTube channel and subscribe, guys, and you'll see everything that I drop. Sometimes we'll do a bunch of content in a month, and we forget to do the videos. And I'm like, I'm not sitting down for this damn video, throw it into HeyGen, right? And then I just get approval, and it's nice and easy. They've got this new thing on there that's come out. I haven't played with it yet, but it's live streaming with your, I don't know, Jay, if you've done this yet, but live streaming with your avatar. And so literally you can go live and feed in, like on a webinar or something like that, and it's gonna be a digital avatar of you, and you're not even sitting there. And like your staff could sit there and put on a sales webinar, and then you could have some staff doing Q&A, and it's answering it in your lips and everything. It's wild. The Spanish thing is awesome because, I'm in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and in Charleston. We have an underserved Hispanic community. I started Abogado Lovely, and the problem was we were getting the cases, but then, if we don't have a Spanish-speaking attorney there right now for their question, that was a problem. And so what my girls will do is they'll throw it in and whatever it is, what's UIM mean? What is PIP coverage? I mean, what do I do after the car gets repaired? All these different FAQs that I've already shot thousands of videos on YouTube, they'll throw it into HeyGen and then they'll answer their question and say, Say, here's Justin answering your question in your language. And then Hispanic clients really appreciate that because trust goes a long way with them, right? Because they're already scared to hire a lawyer and scared of the whole process. But you also don't want to have to sit there and shoot it again, right? Shoot the same damn content, English, Spanish, Russian. I mean, depending on what your locale is, it will do every language. I mean, it does Mandarin Chinese. I mean, it's crazy. So go buy HeyGen. It's cheap, and then you have no excuse. So, okay, great. So that's great. Now you need unique content ideas for all these videos, for your new blogs, for your podcast, right? And so the old way, which is time-consuming and expensive, you can mine data and mine Google, look up what people also ask, like Jay said, but that's just another rabbit hole. It's a pain in the ass of never-ending questions. You can also try to see what your competitors are doing. There's also tools like Answer the Public that scrape all that. But you can also just use Chat GPT prompts. It's so easy, all right? This is one of the first things that I started using AI for. Just very simple. It's a 3-step prompt. Write 10 unique topics about personal injury. Before we go any further, I mentioned all the platforms, Claude, Perplexity, Gemini, Meta. Do all this on all the platforms because they're going to give you different answers, okay? And then you're going to have all this extra content. But no, the first step, write 10 unique topics about whatever. In this case, I said personal injury. Second step, write 3 unique questions for each topic, number them in bullet points. And there's your output right here. So now it's answering my question or giving me more questions on the topic. Now create me a table and date it, right? So if you wanted to start one for May, you would put May 1 through 31st, topic in question, and you simply push enter, and it's going to generate your table here with what date you need to shoot, what topic you need, and what the question is going to be. So now you know what all these different questions are being asked, and this is just scraping the internet, okay? Put it back into Chat GPT or whatever platform you want to use to give you a script if you can't talk off the cuff. Some people just can't do it, but if you put it in a teleprompter, they're pros at it. Or even better, put it in HeyGen, don't do shit. Put it in HeyGen and push generate, right? So it's so easy. And this is what it ultimately looked like is for your marketing people, you have an unlimited content calendar that can always go and you always know what's going to drop. And so, when mass torts pop up, you can be the first guy in your market to get all those local leads instead of the national guys sucking up all our local leads, right? When there's a train derailment, boom, you can pop it all up, boom, you're knocking that stuff out. Anything that local happens. Then, of course, you need the evergreen stuff, car wrecks, workers' comp. I mean, the possibilities are endless. Okay. You got to rank some of this stuff on YouTube. People, I guarantee you, who has a YouTube channel? Who has a YouTube channel with more than 1,000 followers? Are you monetized? Okay, you should get monetized. Excellent. So we got one guy, right? So I've been working my ass off at YouTube. I've got 5,500. I think that's awesome, and it is awesome for a law firm. Okay, but you've got to optimize the back end of YouTube to get these things to rank in the number 2 search engine in the world, and it's a pain in the ass to do this because you have to manually write all these descriptions, manually enter all the tags, and you got to do that for each video, and you got to make sure your headlines are right. It's just like SEO on a web page. But AI can do all this stuff for you with Chat GPT and VidIQ. VidIQ, I think, costs like $600 a year. If you're going to do YouTube, you should have vidIQ 100%. It's just a Chrome plugin, makes it so much easier. If you want to use Chat GPT prompts, you just simply, write an SEO optimized description for a YouTube video titled whatever your video title is, and it's going to kick it out for you. And then you can copy and paste that back in. Then you need tags. Give me tags for the same video. You can do this all in the same prompt, and it's a copy-paste schedule job after that. This is stuff VAs can do. VAs can do this for you. All you got to do is sit down and get the video cranked out. Same thing if you're on YouTube, you got to have a podcast, right? I hope everybody's got a podcast. If you want to be on my podcast, the Carolina Justice Report, I'll interview all you guys again. I'll give you the copy. You can chop it up and make your own content out of it. But the same pain in the ass, if you want that stuff to rank, you want people to listen to it, I mean, you gotta do this back-end SEO stuff. And just like YouTube, ChatGPT can do the same thing. Create formatted podcast show notes that are SEO optimized for blank, 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 whatever. And then insert your transcript, it'll kick it out. And then you just copy and paste the show notes and everything into your podcast server. We use Libsyn for our podcast. I don't know if anybody's a podcast guy over here. But it's real easy. All right, SEO competition. Acquisition costs are going up, there's more competition, and as Jay said, number 1 on Google means nothing anymore. It really means you're number 8 now, right? Because you got to go through LSA, you got to go through the maps, you got to go through the paid ads, and then your SEO, you're number 1. Well, great, you're really number 8, or lower, depending on your market. So, anybody using RivalFlow? Man, you guys are like AI virgins, like never done any of this stuff. It's awesome. Okay, RivalFlow is $100 a month, and it can help you guys keep your SEO company honest. So if you're doing it in-house, it's going to help you in-house. If you have an agency, which I know a lot of us do, you want to keep them honest, and a lot of times this tech stuff is over your head, and you're like, what the hell? I have no idea what's going on. It's $100 a month, and basically what it does, it will scan your website. It will tell you what it thinks your competitors are, but then you can also enter who you know your competitors are, right? Because sometimes when you get ranking too good, it starts taking those national rankings, and then it'll skew it a little bit. But it'll give you what they call action streams, and it also gives you questions, which you can feed back into this video strategy that your competitors are answering that you don't, or what the AI thinks they answer better than you, right? So you can always compete with these guys. I was trying to give you guys some love over here. I'll walk back because my clicker's not working. So I'm going to pick on Morgan & Morgan again. And so what it'll do is when you choose an action stream, and an action stream is going to be whatever page that you want to work on, right? Or that the AI thinks will benefit from the work. And so it'll kind of tell you, I picked a weird one that I don't even really care about, Belvic weight loss. I mean, I'll put it on there, but Morgan & Morgan is beating me. Okay, well, if we want to work on that, if I wanted to say, hey, I want to be number 1 on Belvic, you simply let RivalFlow do all the work for you. And what it's going to do is it's going to give you questions that they answer that I don't, okay? And there's 25 of those, okay? That's a lot of stuff, right? Questions they answer more thoroughly than me, 1. And the best thing is, what can we do to outrank them? And then here, it's wild, man. Here it is, answers to the sub-questions that we didn't answer. So it pulls all those that we didn't answer, and then you just got to click this little damn button, generate content. And then the AI just goes boom, 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 and knocks it out, right? Now, another word of advice, don't just sit there and post whatever the hell it says. You need to read it, right? Because we don't want to lose our bar license. So read it, but it takes all the time away. Easy, quicker, faster, stronger, because this is what you want. You're local. We're all competing in local markets, right? I'm going to be number 1. Kick ass. So none of these dudes could touch me. All right. Well, the good news is RivalFlow sends you alerts. They'll say, hey, man, your car wreck ad got beat by Ian McGuire is a guy in my firm or my location. Ian McGuire's beating you on this. Oh, really? What did he do? Well, he added one little line. Somehow Google bumped it up above me. Okay. Guess what I do? We immediately answer the exact same thing more thoroughly, and then the next day, he's bumped back down next time the algorithm updates. All right, intake and operations. So we use Chat GPT for, I don't know if anybody uses FileVine, but getting reports and managing a firm with FileVine is a pain in the ass. We switched to Smart Advocate, but what we were doing is we have to extract our reports, then we got to feed it back into Chat GPT to kind of get all these KPIs that we need. You need to know your average fee. You need to do the Pareto analysis, your time on desk, per employee, per case type, employee audit reports. What are they wasting time on? What are they sitting around doing? Right? All this can be made visual with the data analyst feature of GPT-4. And this is only going to get better. Cost per case, lead growth over time, and the best thing I love doing is attribution audits. So what we'll do is we compare our intake stats to call tracking metrics reports and make sure that my intake put a right attribution. So they'll say, hey, I saw you on TV, but then I got a call tracking metrics. I know they dialed a number from this GMB listing. Well, I want to know that, right? And so we can do this. Instead of having to manually go through this or doing some manual Excel manipulation, you will upload 2 spreadsheets and push go, and it's done. And it's only going to keep getting better. It's awesome. So what we'll do is 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 we'll do Switching modes a little bit, where are the bottlenecks in your office? Well, I think for all of us, anybody who's got doing some volume, it's the demands, right? And you're getting all these cases, you got to get the demands. If you don't get the damn demands out the door, well, you're not going to get your first offer, you're not going to get paid, you're delaying the litigation. It's just a pain in the ass, right? The minute it goes into demand phase, you start losing money. So we got to get the demands out the door. There's all these solutions popping up, right? And they're trying to take advantage of lawyers right now because you guys you should go home and investigate this stuff. That's literally all I've done is I've just started reading some books and watching people, learning things, going to conferences. But just like when websites first came out, when pay-per-click ads first came out, they take advantage of lawyers because we got money. We just want to take the short end of the stick. And you can certainly do that. If these work for your firm, go for it. Why did demand suck? Well, you got to wait on paralegals to draft, then get delayed with Med Crons, then you got to wait on your attorneys to edit it. And, if you're outsourcing Med Crons the old way, it can get expensive depending on the nurse that you hire, right? And then there's more time delays if you're missing records or anything like that. So you can actually use Chat GPT to extract these medical records. And that's get the medical records to extract what you need in order to build the Med Cron, because I think that's really the key to any demand. But let me see here. Does it do what? Yeah. I mean, document review, that's like the big, all big, what they're doing is they're creating a wrapper over Chat GPT. I'm going to tell you where the problems are, though. There's in big business outside of the personal injury world. It's doc review big time, man. So that's going to get rid of all kinds of stuff. Let me see here. What do we got here? Oh, I'm actually working on demand software to make this easier and quicker. If anybody wants to be part of that beta too, just email me because I just have some problems with the privacy on these, everybody else who's already on the market. Let me see here. But here's all they're doing, right? It's a 3-step prompt, and I'll tell you the problem after this. They're simply saying, hey, can you summarize this medical record? And then Chat GPT is going to kick out and summarize whatever the medical record is. Extract diagnosis codes, right? We're all playing an algorithm game now, so if you're not putting your diagnosis codes in there, there's another tip. You're having a problem, you're leaving money on the table because Colossus is devaluing your claims off the jump. It's going to make it hard to settle. You're going to have to litigate that case. But you got to extract that, and then treatment codes, same thing. It's got to extract that. Now all you got to do is try to simply copy and paste, and it'll speed up your Med Cron process. And the whole idea, though, with AI, this will help you if you just follow these 3 prompts, but you're going to have privacy issues, and there's still a manual part to this, so it's a pain in the ass. So we're working on trying to automate all that, and what I'm using on my beta test, I'm using blockchain, and we're tokenizing all the data because that's a real problem, and nobody's ever really been able to tell me, hey, if I give you my client's social security number and their medical information, they try to say, oh, yeah, we'll spit it back to you, give you a demand. Well, how do I know, that you're not retraining your model or putting it just back into Chat GPT, and then I'm going to lose my damn bar license? Well, I don't want to be the fucking guinea pig. I don't think any of us want to be the guinea pig, right? But there's a lot of people taking this easy way out with these companies, and somebody's going to get screwed, okay? So you got privacy and ethics we have to worry about. Just real quick, this will be your ethics. 5 minutes, right? Send it to your CLE board. Understand ABA 1.1. What is the data source that these AI things are using? Is there bias in the data? How old is the data? Review your terms and conditions under 1.6. You need to know this stuff if you ever get busted using AI. Remember, hallucinations can happen. Those are kind of gone down over time as these models get better. You could run afoul of non-lawyer assistance. Competence, and then there's that New York guy who's like the seminal case. We're all waiting to see what happened with him. I don't know. He got his ass busted. Who basically he just copy and pasted, let AI file something. He got a raw deal. So call your malpractice too. Make sure you're covered when you start using AI. So this is something else that freaked me out. Make sure you're advertising injury in case if you post an ad, when you're using your clips and you didn't really read what you posted and it does hallucinate, says something weird, make sure your advertising injury covers your AI if you're using AI, and then just jack up your umbrella and you'll be fine in your cyber policy. Okay. How long am I going? Man, I'm going. I got a lot. Am I good? Keep going? Okay. This is probably the number one spot that we've really used AI, and I'm seeing the best outcomes, and that's training and retraining. our staff to our standard operating procedures. And we all know that sucks. How do you hire a new paralegal and train them? They have to shadow your best people. Maybe you have in-house modules. Maybe you give them standardized quizzes or tests. And then if they don't figure it out, they have to reshadow, and then you get frustrated. Then you fire them. Then you're back to trying to hire somebody again. God, it's like it never ends, right? AI can help you create an always learning culture, okay? And that's what I'm most proud of at the Lovely Law Firm is we always learning, everybody be willing to teach. And when we hire somebody, we want them to be able to use tech and be willing to help and teach people, because some people get better at it than others. So here's a solution. Chat GPT can do individualized quizzes that are unique to your problem employee, okay? Because if you train them, like we have a whole Lovely Law Firm University, we have standardized quizzes that I think solves the problem and teaches them and quizzes them on what they need to know. But that's the problem with standardized quizzes, right? Some people learn in different ways. Audio, they got to do it, they got to see it, they got to hear, they got to watch it, whatever. So you need to test them unique to whatever the problem that they're having. And so real quickly, my director of ops can simply say, I have a paralegal struggling with the following concept. And then just put in whatever the concept is. Give me a multiple choice test to test on this topic 5 questions. And then this one, I think this example is about stacking, right? So we had this issue, and we just feed in text from our learning modules, because that was what they were struggling with. And then instead of me trying to figure out the quiz, and they had to figure out the quiz, because that's a time suck too, we just let the AI do it. And then we can simply test them, and it sticks it out, and then we solve the problem. Another thing that we've done is a weekly lunch and learn. So every week I buy lunch for everybody. It's all hands-on meeting, and whatever we come up with this. It's a fluid schedule, but whatever the team is struggling with, or if one person's struggling and we revealed itself, it's probably happening in your office more than just one person. So you really just need to retrain everybody. And so what we'll do is we'll just we meet down. We have a lunch schedule. We record it on Zoom because I got multiple offices. And then we'll transcribe it, and we'll make a quiz and a test right after that. And then my ops people are transcribing the meeting, getting the quiz, and then saying, hey, was it taught correctly? Am I a bad teacher? Sometimes I am. Sometimes I'm too technical for something that needs to be dumbed down. Does somebody else need to teach it? And does one particular employee just not understand one particular topic? And we've done this, and sometimes they all failed. And I'm like, what? God, we just wasted an hour. Well, we got to retrain that, and somebody else needs to teach it, okay? So but it's so easy with Chat GPT. All right, intake. Another problem we all have, investigating your large PI cases. So if you get a huge case on the hook, you got to start an investigation immediately, right? We got to figure it out. We got to dig up some dirt. We got to prove our case. So you got a PI that might show up. You got defendant. He'll lawyer up and shut down if he's arrested, right? Shut down the social media. Or like you do in my state, you have criminal prosecutors who won't help us at all until they get their damn conviction. Well, I got an injured guy who needs medical treatment, and we need to get a policy popped or opened immediately, right? So this is a problem. It's a real problem. So there's facial recognition software. I love this tool. We use it all the time. It's called PimEyes, and I think it's only like $100 too. It's cheap. PimEyes, you can put any face in the facial recognition. It will AI look at the face, and it will tell you everywhere on the internet that this face pops up. So that's on a photographer. This is 26 results on social, and that's a different picture my photographer put on his website, right? We also use it in hiring. So this is Sharday, one of my lawyers. Well, before we hire, I want to look at these old pictures and say, is there anything weird in this person's past that they put on social that I can find out now before I make them an offer? And they start representing the Lovely Law Firm, and then they got some wild shit that comes up and my name's on the paper? No, hell no, right? But this piece of shit hit and killed a 15-year-old client who was walking on the road down at the beach, and he took off, and he lawyered up, okay? So I took this crazy-ass mugshot, like we do all our big cases. Okay, that went forward. Anyway, I put it in there, and then I found this link, because there was nothing on the internet. I found this link from an old case that he got picked up on that led me to this old mugshot page on our local TV station that said, hey, this dude's got a prior DUI, right? So I then, of course, he was driving, it's a hit and run. Why did he hit and run the second time? Because he was fucking drunk, right? We couldn't prove it, and I'm not going to wait a year for the criminal process to work out when I've got a family with a dead 15-year-old. So can y'all see the value of this? Boom. I mean, this is instant. This is not waiting for a PI to figure this shit out. This is not waiting on people 6 months later. This is your paralegals get this done immediately. This tool made me, when I presented on this a year ago, when I first found it, I don't know why. It made me $1 million on a dram shop case. Same issue. We had a drunk. She was charged with a DUI. We get her policy back. It was some bullshit like $50,000. I got a catastrophically injured client. She shuts down her social media, can't find shit, but I had a picture of her husband. I put her husband's face in PimEyes, and it found where they were tagged at the bar together, and it was not locked down. So then I sent my investigator to the bar. We figured out where she was drinking. I sent them a damn demand letter, and they sent me $1 million policy. Fucking A, man, right? Right? And so the problem, if I don't have that, sometimes you may never find it, right? If they keep their mouth shut, and that's the worst. Or you got to litigate it and get it revealed fucking 2 years later. How's that help our clients? It doesn't. All right. You can also, if you got witnesses in a case, throw witnesses' faces back in here. Your client, put your client in there. What is it? And then employees, I talked about that. Okay, clients who shop around, all right? If you got big cases on the hook, one, you need to know that it's a big case because they're calling it the lawyers. You need to, hopefully you've differentiated yourself and you can make the sale, close the deal, get it hooked, get them on a fee agreement. How do you close them, right? Okay, 2 things I'm going to talk about here. Crystal. Anybody using Crystal? Damn. Okay, we got y'all are awesome. Okay, cool. I like to say this too. Y'all ever talk to these legal vendors and when they start talking to you, they know a little too much about you? Anybody ever get those phone calls? Well, that's because they're using Crystal. It's sales software. But I figured out how to flip it and use it into our law firm. So basically what it is, it's a plug-in, and it will use the DISC profile and compare that to anyone who has a LinkedIn profile. So I put Jay up here, and what it's going to tell me is, how does Jay communicate? Oh, shit. How does Jay communicate? What kind of personality does Jay have? Okay. What's his expected behavior? Setting ambitious goals for others, working independently to meet a deadline, getting angsty if a conversation lasts too long. How does he write? How to make Jay take action, stay on topic, show decisiveness and confidence, keep it short as possible. I can't make him do anything because I'm too long-winded here. Energizers, professional growth, competition and winning, challenges, drainers. When I talk to him, this is what we should say: assert yourself with confidence, expect conversations to move quickly, get right to the point. And team roles, expect him to adapt quickly to change, expect some healthy competition, get used to fast workpace. Can't talk today. Oh my God. It also gives you, this is negotiating with me. It'll give you a negotiation with Justin feature. So if you want to negotiate with me, be prepared to walk away, avoid giving in to me easily, articulate your personal mutual goals clearly. Try to assert your own authority. That's if you're trying to negotiate with me. So y'all see where I'm going with this? Before I keep going to the next slide, you'll see how this can be useful. So basically, let me go back before I go into this. You can, if they plan the higher authority card with your intake staff, hey, I got a motorcycle wreck, it's catastrophic. He wants to talk to his wife. He wants to talk to 2 more lawyers. What's this guy's name? Let's say it's Justin Lovely. Throw him into Crystal and give your intake or your attorneys, whoever's going to be the closer, as much data as you possibly can to maybe give you an edge so they choose you over hiring Morgan & Morgan with their hard sales calls, right? Because they're going to keep pounding them, right? So that's the way we use it. When you're emailing, when you use Crystal, it also has an email feature. So I'm emailing Sarah in my office. I need to be polite, and it'll give me little tips when I'm writing her an email. So when you're dealing with opposing counsel, with a mediator, whoever you're emailing, right? it'll help you as long as they got a LinkedIn profile. Another cool thing, and I'm trying to push all of my, we do a lot of Zoom mediations. Mediators are giving me pushback. I'm trying to push them to Google Meet, because if you use Google Meet and Crystal, it will tell you each person's personality. Be compelling. She doesn't have a LinkedIn profile. Be formal with Shelly. She doesn't have a LinkedIn profile. And then Justin, who am I? What do I say? Be concise, right? Get to the point. So how awesome would that be on a mediation? You're talking to the adjusters you don't know, right? It's fucking crazy, right? It is crazy. I just had a big-ass case. This is all the dirt I was able to pull up on a farmer's adjuster. And what we did when we found this dirt, I crafted my mediation PowerPoint to hit all these points. Address the meat of my concerns, even if it means diving into strenuous detail. We did an 1.5-hour mediation opening. And everybody was like, I saw the mediator's he's like, God, shut up. But I knew she's the one writing the check. I don't give a shit about the mediator. I don't give a shit about the defense lawyer, who I already know, right? I'm crafting my argument to her. Unless I don't want to get it settled, then why am I going to fucking mediation, right? All right. It'll tell you her behavior. Tells you her pain points. So we had to make sure, no inaccuracies. Make sure what we say is what we're doing. We're giving her all the meds. We're giving her everything. We turned over all our exhibits. Give it all to her in advance. So this is awesome. So this is an example of the adjuster going in there. All right, so yeah, we use it for litigation adjusters, mediators. We use it for our current clients, because sometimes you have a current client, just throw them in there. If you got a problem making phone calls, they don't like a paralegal, maybe you need to change teams, put them on a different lawyer's team. Sometimes there's just communication problems. The issue is they have to have a LinkedIn account or it doesn't work, so that's what sucks about it. But also be aware staff can use it against you. And one of my ops girls made a joke, when people come to ask me for a raise or something, they're going to start using this. And I said, well, that's why you're my ops girls. You guys are going to deal with this shit. I don't want to talk. I don't want to know about it. All right. All right, if you got to chase drip email sequences, that copywriters charge lawyers thousands of dollars for. No, you put it in there. Here's the pain points. Write me a 10-week chase sequence. Boom. Chat GPT can knock it out, okay? And then all you got to do is simply upload it into your CRM. Personalized video at scale. I'm going to try to skip through this because I don't think the AI is quite there yet. I'll show you a video. But Be Human's the one we're testing. It's only $40 a month. Tavis seems to have a higher or a superior AI right now, but it's more expensive. But we've tested these and tried personalized happy birthday, thanks for the referral. Similar to how HeyGen does, you just upload a spreadsheet of first names and it will cut a little piece of that you can email out at scale to everybody, only shoot one video. I think I got a video on this. I'm going to flip through some of this. Let's see. Some of these videos didn't work because I went from PowerPoint to Google Slides. Can we go to that video? It's keep going. You can skip. Yeah, skip. There's one video. Keep going.
Justin, give us 2 more great things.
It cut it off?
Time for Q&A.
Okay. All right, let's just skip this then. This is cool though, if y'all don't want to mess with that. Just skip the video. Let me go fast through this. Guys, I'll give you all this. You can have the slides, go for it. I'll lay it all out there. I don't give a shit. The only thing I want you to do, refer me your South Carolina cases and I'll pay you a co-counsel. How about that? It's a triple win. How about that? Intake Air AI back to training. A lot of this is training. If you use Air AI, this is stuff where you can have these. It's so much better. Very conversational. You don't even know it's an AI now. But Air AI. Let me talk about that. I can't even talk, man. You got me flustered, Jay. Call tracking metrics. This is cool, and I can speed after this. Anybody use call tracking metrics? Okay, their new AI buzz feature. I don't know if you all have turned this on. This is sick. So it will sit here and mini transcribe for our intake director, so she don't have to read through or listen to everything. My ops girl don't have to sit there and listen to everything. We can just get the highlights. But the coolest thing is this AI summarization and these buzzwords that will trigger big cases that get sent to my cell phone. So if I'm sitting here and I get an email from Call Tracking Metrics, I know it's a big case. And so I've got these buzzwords trained into their AI. Mesothelioma, I want to know about it. Death, I want to know about it. Killed, motorcycle, truck, 18-wheeler, commercial vehicle, drunk driver, DUI. I want to know anything that, if that pops up, I want to know, hey, did we hook that case? And if y'all just sitting around chasing it, fuck that. I'm going to get on my cell phone, right? I don't want a soft tissue case. I want the drunk drivers, commercial cases, mesothelioma, right? You can build all this out depending on y'all's practice areas. It's awesome. It's cheap, too. This is an example. You know, I had yesterday or 2 days ago, surgery, motorcycle keywords. Yeah, we signed that one. Training scripts, so we listen to our calls. If it's a cool call, we'll put that back into Chat GPT to make me a training script that we add to Lovely Law Firm University, okay? And then with Air AI, I'm training the AI on those scripts to call us back to train my intake staff on live calls to do in-house and ghost calls. It's 32 cents a minute. It's awesome. Air AI. If you have a large call center, there's now accent dampening AI. I don't know how big y'all's law firms are. It's about $300, so you can hire somebody in the Philippines or Mexico with the worst accent, and this accent dampening stuff with Sonus will make them sound exactly like perfect English. It's wild. And your call centers are probably already using it, by the way. That's why I put that in there. Automation is the key to all this. You got to have somebody who knows Zapier or Make and automate all this shit, or there's still going to be a manual process. Criminal defense guys use Deceptio. It's $19 a month. I'm just going to skip through this. It's $19 a month. Deceptio.ai. If anybody does criminal defense, or you can even use it on some of your depositions where you think somebody might be lying. Somebody scan this code real quick because this is fucking badass too. I'm giving you all everything. Somebody scan it and opt in. We'll see if it works. I'm going to pick on somebody. Let's see here. Richard Hall. Where's Richard? Do you live at 35 Berwyn Drive, Amherst, New York? Is your phone number 716-400-8022? It's wild, isn't it? So this is WISP.
The end is an I, right?
Yeah, it's over, man. You can, bubble.io, you can create your own little tools. It's low code, no code, drag and drop. Try it out, easy stuff. These tech tools, I really wanted to go in. We don't have time. There's links on here. There's even more sick things. We'll do this after this conference. But future practice areas I want y'all to think about is all the cars are having AI built in. I'm driving a BMW that I rented from Sixt, and it's sitting here telling me my G-force, so I'm hitting the brakes and all this. Think about all that data we're going to be able to get for defective cars. And this company, lit.ai, a lot of the governments are managing their red lights, their train crossings by AI, and that shit's going to break, and we're all going to have some product liability cases out of it. So just like Lyft and Uber wasn't the case, 10, 12 years ago when I first started practicing, now we're getting an Uber Lyft case all the time. This kind of shit's going to be popping up. So I say that to keep an eye on it. And it's all going to keep changing. Scan this, leave me a Google review. Where's your phones? Get your phones out. Leave me a Google review. I know I gave you some value. Justin at Justice is Lovely. Y'all need any help in South Carolina, I'm here to help you. We do civil rights, personal injury, workers' comp, and my wife does criminal defense. I spit through the end.
Go anywhere. Let's hear it for Justin.
Yeah.
Woo, stay here.
All right.
Okay, so Justin is awesome as we promised, and I took a bunch more notes. Now I saw Justin speak. I had him on the webinar. We did this in detail. We spent some time together, and I still learned all kinds of new stuff. So as I mentioned, this is my conference hack, right? Does everybody have their gift bag in their journal? So if not, we've got a gift bag for everyone, nice journal, and or you can take notes digitally. But I got tons of notes from Justin, even though we've spent time on this, like 3-4 hours already.
Yeah.
So as I mentioned, the first thing I do is I journal. Oh, test 1, 2, check. Okay, the first thing I do is I journal. I take notes, right? So I learned all kinds of new stuff from Justin, and then number 2. I select the best things as what I call action items. So here's some of the things that I'm going to take action on. Number 1, I'm going to hire a VA to knock out the shorts. So we've had our copywriter trying to post stuff on social media, but there's a couple companies we know, and Jason's company, I'm going to hire a full-time VA, a virtual assistant, who's going to post all the stuff and get it out there more frequently. Number 2, I'm going to use his video stack. So we've been playing around. We've done some stuff with HeyGen, but HeyGen and Opus and vidIQ and StoryYard, StreamYard, and use Opus to create reels. So like my talk from today, we'll let Opus break it up into short reels and get that stuff posted. Number 3, HeyGen. So this is really cool, right? Justin recorded a commercial basically for 10 Golden Rules, but you just you copied and pasted some copy from our website and tweaked it a little bit and then said, hey, make me do this speech, and you did basically a commercial. With thank you, by the way.
Yeah.
And then you also showed the same thing where the video talks Spanish.
Yeah.
But you don't really know that much Spanish, right?
No. Cerveza, mucho frío.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One heads up, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, this stuff is so good now. Like, HeyGen does such a good translation, and the AI does such good, like, it just reads a script. We're going to see a ton of stuff in this election cycle with all kinds of fake stuff, with all different candidates all across the country doing a bunch of crazy stuff. I love the write 10 unique topics. So go into Chat GPT and Bard and Claude. So all of them are going to give different results. So write 10 different topics about internet marketing for law firms and come up with a bunch of blog ideas. I thought that was awesome. And we've been using, what's the LinkedIn tool?
Crystal.
Crystal. Love Crystal knows. We've been using it, but I didn't know about the negotiation piece. So I'm going to start using that. So I thought all of those were awesome. So those are the things I learned, and those are the things I'm going to take action on. I have a couple questions for you. So my question is, I have over 300,000 YouTube views, and we're, 250 subscriptions. And I've started asking people in the videos to subscribe. But how else do you get subscriptions on YouTube? Like, how do I get over 1,000 so I can monetize it?
You have to be consistent. You have to, just like, for somebody like you have to research all these FAQs like you're telling us to do, and you have to do a video on every single one. You have to make playlists. You have to optimize the playlists. You have to promote, once you get them on YouTube, you have to promote them on all your social channels. And it's a long process, but once you get critical mass of about 1,000 subscribers, the next 2,000 is quicker, the next 3,000 is quicker. And then with Opus, it's trying to cut your long form into the most viral, because part of their algorithm is how are they going to cut this, whatever you say, to make it the most viral short form piece. And then what you're going to do is you're going to upload that to YouTube Shorts. Well, they'll subscribe to you from YouTube Shorts because they're interested in that content, and then you're going to be able to push all your long form back to them with your podcast, your video, or like your 3-minute standard video. And it's a long time. I've been doing YouTube for 6-7 years, but in the last 2.5 is where it really started kind of taking off. And we get cases out of it.
Yeah. It's one of those things where it's like you put in the 4 or 5 years,
Yeah.
and then you're like an overnight success.
Yeah, and we get paid. We're monetized.
That's
So sometimes
awesome.
we'll do a true crime podcast when that Murdaugh shit was happening in South Carolina. Anybody pay attention to that? We were making $4,000 a month. YouTube was paying me because people were watching our Carolina Justice Report, which is our podcast. And then we ripped the audio and put it up on iTunes.
So I took a screenshot in January when I spoke at National Trial Lawyers of the same YouTube page I showed today, and our top video had 37,000 views. I thought that was amazing. And then it started going like 1,000 a week, and now it's at 82,000.
Yeah.
So once you get the algorithm likes you and people watch the videos, then it really starts taking off. Okay, so
Here's another hack. Yeah. Respond to every comment. If you have a long form that you can break up, you can do timestamps.
Yeah.
Put the timestamps in the description, and also put timestamps in the first comment. So there's a lot of little hacks to it. But as you just keep doing that, staying consistent, it'll keep taking off.
All right, let's take a couple questions for Justin. Bruce, hang on. We're going to get you a mic. Maddie or Alyssa's got it. We just want you, as a matter of fact, tell us your name, your firm, and then go with your question. We want the mics for the audio because we're.
Do you want me to stand and smile at the camera?
That's up to you.
Good morning, Bruce Silver, Silver Injury Law, right here in Boca Raton, Florida, in the event that you need to make a referral to somebody here in Florida or get hit leaving the hotel. I am interested in the process of how you would do a Med Cron with AI.
Yeah, it's 3 steps.
3
all it is.
steps. Can you
Yeah.
can you run through them from?
Yeah. So the first thing that you want to do is you have to have make sure that your meds are OCR'd. Okay.
How do you do that?
You can do it on Adobe. You can run it through Fuji ScanSnap, and then run it through Adobe. But whatever you're going to put in it in the PDF has to be OCR'd, so they can recognize.
So my records are already scanned in by provider. So what? So just open them up in Adobe.
Yeah.
Got
Now,
it.
but if they're not OCR'd, it's not going to be able to be fed into the data
Right.
models.
But Adobe will OCR them, right?
What will?
Adobe.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a little feature that says recognize text. Boom, you do it, and it just OCRs it.
Save
real
it.
quick.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's next?
So then you'll upload that, and you're asking it to summarize each visit, right? Doctor's notes or whatever you're trying to summarize. Just that's the prompt. And I'll give you these slides. So summarize that. That's step one.
Okay.
The next thing you need is you need 2 more things because we're dealing with algorithms. We're dealing with Colossus and all the different insurance companies. So you want to extract the treatment codes, and you want to extract the diagnoses codes. So those are the 3 steps. And then you could have a paralegal that would do this. They'll have a summarization codes for each date of treatment.
it'll
And
do
that's
it by
what
date.
these companies are doing and selling back to you is they're doing Med Crons, essentially, AI Med Crons.
So I think I saw you at NTL,
Yeah.
and you were talking about having a separate chat so that your at least that's the way I understood you, so that your client's private confidential information is not shared.
Yeah, so you can try to so you don't want to just do this on the open platform because then you're feeding all that client data right back into the main models. So what you got to try to do is you've got to, and that's why I had that slide about ethics, right? They can't tell me and prove to me that they're not doing that and just putting a wrapper and saying, hey, I'm giving you an AI demand. Okay, well, I don't want to I'm the one that's going to get in trouble, not this demand company, right? So you have to have a closed model, so which you can make on your own. And you'll need a little tech expertise to get that done. But once you figure that out, that's how we're kind of doing that on our my software that I'm developing, so that we don't have to worry about that stuff. And it just
So you're doing it on your own software?
Yeah.
Are you licensing that?
Once I get some beta testers, we're going to try to get a license for sure. So send me an email and we'll see if we can do some business.
Okay.
But what I'm trying to do is
back up, please.
to do what?
Your slide, so I can.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Come on,
Thank
slide
you.
contact.
One more for
Thank you very much, Jay.
Justin. Alyssa's got a mic. We've got one back here from South Carolina. Name, rank, serial number, please.
I am Haley Moore. I'm with Case Status. We're actually based out of Charleston, South Carolina. My question is, how are you using AI as far as client comms? Are your paralegals using AI to answer questions, regarding the status of cases? Or how are you doing?
No, as far as talking to clients and stuff like that, the only time we're really using AI at this time is with Hispanic clients or it's somebody who doesn't speak English. We have a lot of Russian clients in Myrtle Beach, and a lot of Hispanic clients. And if somebody's not available, they'll transcribe what I would say, how I would answer this based off my YouTube videos, and then they'll answer that to the Hispanic clients. There's definitely ways to do that. Now, we do think some of those videos are AI. If I'm thanking them for referrals, I'm saying happy birthday. That's not me. That's me communicating that way. But as far as actively in the case, no, we're not doing that. That's still a manual process. They're still working it.
Well, if you'd like to chat.
Do what?
I said if you'd like to chat about that.
Okay, I see where you're getting at. Cool.
Okay. A quick round of applause for Justin. Awesome, buddy. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
That's really great.
Thank you for listening to the 10 Golden Rules of Internet Marketing for Law Firms podcast. Please send questions and comments to podcast@10goldenrules.com. That is podcast@tengoldenrules.com.